Hey friends, today we are going to be looking at some new suffixes, er, or, ist, or, ist. And remember, a suffix is a word part added to the end of a base word that changes the meaning of the word. When the suffixes er, or, and ist are added to a base word, the new word can refer to a person who does a job or performs an activity. So it's going to turn these words into people. So for example, or suffix plus decorate is decorator. Er plus dance is dancer, like we've been reading about. And ist plus art is artist. So a person who does art. Now we've got some other examples of that over here. In the er category, we have reporter, swimmer, and painter. So now if I didn't know what a reporter was, I could use my knowledge of this suffix and say, okay, well, the base word is report. And so a reporter must be somebody who reports. So an example of this might be the reporter is known for her interviews of celebrities. That's what that reporter is focused on. Now over here in OR, we have curator, sailor, and professor. Curator was one of the academic vocabulary words from when we were talking about the Brooklyn Bridge, and the museum curator was in charge of the photographs at that museum. So he was a person who was curating. And ist, we have journalist, artist, and guitarist. So all of these are people who are focused on that root word. Like guitarist is a person who plays guitar. So we are going to review some previous words with some suffixes on here. We have finality, equality, frailty, and loyalty. Now these are ones that we have done in the past. That's why it's a review. So first of all, for finality, what would the root word of finality be? Final is the root word. So the end, and the suffix on that is ity, finality. That one has the I in there with it. So finality, it's at the end. It's wrapping it up. Our next word is equality. The root word for equality, I hear it as I say it, sort of, is equal. Equal. It's the same, it's even, it's fair, equal. And the suffix on that would be, just like finality, ity. So equality is just meaning it is something that's fair for everyone. Our next word is frailty. Frailty. So the root word of that would be frail, and that just means it could break really easily. It's really delicate. So frailty. The suffix on frailty is going to be a little different. It does not have the ity, it's just ty. And it's making an object. It's talking about how frail it is. It's frailty. And the last word is loyalty. The root word for that is loyal. You are sticking by somebody or something. You're not giving up on it. You are loyal. And the suffix for that one, just like frailty, is ty. Now, as we look at Let's Dance Around the World today, we are going to be focused this time on text features and graphic features. Remember, text features could be the kinds of type that are being used, boldface, italics, capital letters, and these show emphasis, or they might indicate a title. We have headings, which name the topic of each section of a text, and these can be broken down even further into subheadings, and they break down the topics into little subtopics. And then graphic features are like visual things. We talked about text features. This is what the text is looking like. Graphic features are visuals like diagrams, graphs, maps, charts, illustrations, and they help explain the ideas in the text. So a diagram That's just a picture with labels. So this picture has the labels of iris for the colored part of the eye and pupil for the black part. And then charts can just organize information, shown here. So today in Let's Dance Around the World, we are going to look at paragraph 5 and think about text and graphic features. So speaking of hip hop, if you were to ask 5 people to tell you what hip hop is, you'd probably get 5 different answers. Hip hop is a way of life that includes the dance style known as breaking or breakdancing. In the 1970s, when rap music was new, hip hop and breakdancing were just getting started. Breakdancing is usually performed in public places like city sidewalks, and it is highly athletic and involves fast jumps, drops, spins, and robotic freezes. Breakdancers can even be seen spinning on their heads. So how does the photograph connect to the text? Yeah, it shows what it looks like when someone is breakdancing, which is what it's describing there in the text. So it's giving us a visual of what that actually might look like. How does the photograph add to your understanding of the ideas in the text? For me, it helps me realize that a breakdancer has to be really athletic to do those moves. His whole body weight is on his arm here, and his legs are out there, so he has to be very athletic and very strong. And this label here helps me know too, oh yeah, that's showing breakdancing. Now on the next page, 352 and 353, I just want us to look at what text or graphic features are shown on this page. In the photos, I see a Japanese folk dance, the person who's performing that, the label says Japanese folk dance, and a Mexican folk dance called Los Vietos. So it's showing me the labels, it's showing me what the people look like doing that. What new information do you learn from the photos that is not in the text? The labels in the photos show a Japanese folk dancer and a Mexican folk dancer who are dressed in traditional costumes that represent their cultures. So it didn't necessarily talk in depth about the costumes and give me a really clear picture of what they look like, but because of these pictures, I see the fan, I see the kimono, the hairstyle, the painted face for the Japanese folk dance. Now the text did talk about the mask, but I see the hat being worn, it kind of looks like a poncho here, the really embellished and decorative, elaborate pants that are going on. So it just really helps me see that these cultures might be very different from what I'm used to, but it shows me a very clear picture of what that looks like.